Is a NL128AI, and I am going to show you how I fixed a bad LED from dropping the sucker. It's a pretty easy fix. Here's the repair that I did. So basically, you've got a red wire that's paired to a black wire. So basically, you have four segments of 24 LEDs that are in parallel. So 24 LEDs is like comes out to here in parallel, and then in series you have another 24, and then you have another 24, goes to about here. You have another 24. So the black wire and the red wire make one color, and the white wire and the gray wire make the other color. I tried to replace this, it blew out right away. So basically, these pin 1 and pin 2 are shorted, and pin 3 and pin 4 are shorted. Now, on these ribbon cables, what you're going to see is like it's going to go something like pin 1 for the warm LED, this like the positive for the warm LED, and then the third pin will be the negative, and then this will be like the cool LED. I don't know exactly. Could be the other way around, but it's like essentially like 1, 3, 2, 4. Those are your positive and negative across this ribbon cable. But this ribbon cable really threw me because these are 1 and 2 are bridged and 3 and 4 are bridged. So basically, the pads came off. I mean, I wasn't rough with it. And then I saw like this pad was like 2 pads, but on this side there was 4 distinct pads. I mean, it was just super, super, super confusing. So I probed everything. These were bridged. There was 3 pads on here. One was like a double pad, but obviously that's bridged, but then these were also bridged. So basically, I just went, replaced this whole thing, ripped this off. I tried to put a replacement on there. I had some other SMD LEDs. It just died right away because I didn't have the forward current matched, and then probably just started sucking a whole bunch of current and blew up. So basically, I just bridged from the warm side to here, and then this is just the negative of the first 48 LEDs becomes the positive of the next series set of LEDs. And that's why there's only 3 connections to the board. So I'll put this back into the case, and then I'll show you how the wires are connected. So you can see all of the LEDs are working. So that's the white or the cool mode. That's the warm mode. That's the in-between mode, and that's the full brightness. So let me try to explain basically how this circuit is laid out, okay? So you've got your 2 positive, this is your high side power supply. And if you measure from here to your ground, I believe this is the main system ground for the battery. There's a BMS in here, so it's probably current controlled. There's probably some protection in there. Anyway, it's about 10 volts from here to here with like a 90% battery. Okay, and then you've got these 2 inductors that look like they're in series with these different MOSFETs. You have a bunch of kind of real big beefy. I mean, this seems pretty beefy. You've got these beefy diodes in here. These are the MOSFETs that are switching your cool and your hot. And then you've got a bunch of analog circuitry down here. Some more diodes. This is probably a buck converter for the battery to get the system voltage down to whatever it needs, probably 3.3 or 5 volts. And then these are the current limiting, the current drivers, current limited current drivers is probably something like 12 volts ish, depending on how the battery's running down. And these are just super high speed oscillators. The inductor keeps the current constant, and then there's like a feedback to make sure it doesn't overrun. It's a pretty nice device actually, but essentially all you have to do is you just solder these off, pop these 2 off. These are, again, this is all the same part of the PCB here, so these are effectively bridged. And this is a pretty big copper area, so it takes a little heat on your solder. And yeah, I didn't really check anything else on the board. I mean, this was the main thing I had to do to fix it. I dropped this thing one time right when I got it. And then ever since then, the warm lights were just no bueno. But I got it working today, so pretty happy. So here's the stack. You've got a black piece. I don't even know why that's in there. This white piece is the reflector. So as the LEDs come in from the side and they go down, they bounce up off of this. And then you'll see this this bottom LED, I'm sorry, this bottom piece of plexiglass has a waveguide etched into the bottom of it. And that surface, you can kind of barely see that. That surface is the waveguide that causes the majority of the light to bounce up through this diffuser piece. And that's basically how this side lit panel works. Now, if you've ever seen like an old LED side lit LED monitor, or a cold cathode LED monitor, the etching and the light channeling is quite a bit more sophisticated. For as cheap as this is, there's really nothing wrong with this. So I'll just pop this back in, and then I'll just show you how the bezel clips on. Okay, so here's the bezel, and there's just a bunch of clips on the side. These just have to be kind of like pushed in with a spudger. You kind of pry up on it and then push that clip in a little bit and it'll pop out, and you just work your way around like most other kind of snap-on electronics. You start at the corners. The corners are the best place to start. Putting it together, it should just snap. Should just snap right together with one hand. Max brightness. Wow. Nice and bright. The bezel actually hides some of the color discoloration. When this isn't on, you can actually see these individual LEDs, but the bezel actually hides that pretty good. So yeah, I have full warmness control again. It's warm, cool, medium, 4400K. That's it. Thanks for watching.